What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG offices in New York City. My name is Axel Toss, bringing you coverage of the Acer TeamStory Cup, a matchup between WesternWolves and Mouz. And again, WesternWolves are currently the #1 seed in the Acer TeamStory Cup, which is fantastic. Mouz has a little bit of work to do. I think they're like 4th or 5th place. Let me verify that very quickly. Okay, Mouz is currently in 6th place in the Acer TeamStory Cup. Top 4, I think, are automatically in the playoffs. And then I think there's wild card among 5, 6, and 7. Right now, 5, 6, and 7 are Team Liquid, Mouz Sports, and Millennium. Lucifron so far today has taken out Son, he took out Starnan, and then he took down Daisy. So that's 3 really good Protoss players that he's taken out from the top-seeded team in the Acer TeamStory Cup. So Lucifron is playing like a champion. He's playing awesome. It's very fun to watch. Next up, we're going to see a Terran versus Terran. It's going to be Lucifron versus Sting. Again, Sting, a representative of WesternWolves. And remember, if Lucifron can win this game, he'll put Mouz up 4-0, which means WesternWolves will be able to pull someone back from the dead, someone back who has been eliminated. So look out for that. Countdown has begun and is now finishing. The next map is going to be Yeonsu Ladder Edition. Shout out to you guys hanging out and watching. Sayo48. Let's Get Hype, Nats, Vart, Cat, and Mathy, Red Fox Supreme. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the match, the games. Here we go, Lucifron versus Sting. Terran versus Terran is up next. Lucifron looking so good, looking like a sexy beast. He's won 3 in a row, which is fantastic. Fantastic performance so far from Terran player Lucifron. In the bottom left-hand location, representing WesternWolves. Trying to make this a bit more of a contest. He's your blue Terran player in the bottom left of Yeonsu Ladder Edition. Sting. I know it's a barcode in the top right, so you're going to have to take my word for it. But I can assure you, that's who it is. It is Sting. His opponent in the top right-hand location. Even Nectar, the observer, verifying. His opponent in the top right-hand location, the red Terran player who has won 3 so far on behalf of Mouz Sports. He is your red Terran player, Lucifron. Taking down Son in Game 1, Starnan in Game 2, and Daisy in Game 3. Great game so far here. Acer TeamStory Cup. Today is Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. All right, so what are we going to see in this game? Terran versus Terran. Yeonsu Ladder Edition. It's kind of been... TVT metagame has been interesting recently. Banshees have been becoming a bit more popular. Of course, you always got to worry about the fast expansion plays, right? A lot of players doing that, getting a very fast command center out. What are these two players are going to do? But what are they going to do? I haven't seen many TVTs from them recently. I saw Sting. Sting went for crafty stuff the last time I watched him. He liked the Banshee play, didn't necessarily like the fast expansion type things. I think he had a proxy mixed in there as well. The Lucifron, scouting. He's going to be the first to send an SCV across the map, seeing what's going on in the main base. Spots the gas, spots the barracks. Nothing crazy just yet. Seeing a lack of an expansion. Should be good intel. Sting is going to try to do the same thing. There is a Marine here that will dissuade the SCV from proceeding forward. Going to start targeting that down. Going to run into the main. But it is blocked off, and that SCV is going to die, and he's not going to know what's going on. Sees 2 supply depots and a barracks, but that's about it, and 2 Marines. So he doesn't know if his opponent is fast expanding or if his opponent took 2 early gases, 1 early gas. All he knows is that there's 2 supply depots, a barracks, and 2 Marines, and that's not much information for Sting. So Lucifron is going to be a little bit happier with the intel that he has compared to his opponent. But overall, it's not going to matter too much because both these guys placing down extra command centers. Factory on the way. Of course, it's very important to go for that fast factory so you can get the starport as fast as possible just in case your opponent decides to go for Banshees. So, I'm wondering, what is the next step? What is the next step for these two players? Now, it's interesting, both of them getting those fast command centers down. Sting being a bit more safe about it, because, again, he didn't necessarily scout what his opponent was doing, so he wasn't confident to put his command center as natural expansion. Lucifron, however, got enough information, decided to put the command center at his natural. So he's gonna have a slight advantage here, of course, not having to lift it off and move it over. Not a big deal, though. Again, both these guys with literally identical builds. If you look at the production tab, that pretty much displays that. 2 starports. They're neck and neck here. 23, 21. I can't even tell who's ahead. Hellion, 2 Hellions at a time. Everything looking okay. Tech Lab. There's the first deviation on that barracks. What are you doing with your barracks? So Sting making Marines instead of adding on a Tech Lab. Got Hellions on the way here from Sting, going across the map, approaching the watchtower. Marines there as well. All right. Starport landed on the Tech Lab. It's going to be a Viking. Okay, so getting the Viking to be safe, I mean, it can be helpful against medevacs, but most importantly, if your opponent is going Banshee, the Viking is very useful to help shoo those Banshees away, because they can be annoying. They can get a lot of worker kills, and that's no fun. Medevac about to finish here from Sting, and he might do a little bit of a push. Hellion's actually tracking down Lucifron's. Hellions. That was a nice little pick off for Sting. Units lost, 250. That's great. Well, only lost that SCV earlier. I think he took down 2 Hellions, perhaps. Lucifron mixing in a Raven. So Sting is looking to be aggressive here. Will Lucifron be able to handle it? I thought I saw a medevac on the way. Where's that medevac? Is it still in production? That's a Viking. I'm missing it. All right, Lucifron charging into the main, or to the natural here, but Sting is, but Lucifron, great position there. He's going to receive that with open arms and shove it away. But the medevac is here, so he's going to pick up 3 Hellions, 2 Marines, going to dart into the main base. Defenses, not much. How many kills can these Hellions get? That's the big question. SCVs, are they going to run? No, they're going to hold strong for now. Some Hellions are turning up to the main, but Sting picking up and getting out of there. Nice little play from him. Meanwhile, we got Cloak on the way. A delayed cloak from Lucifron. It's kind of cool. That's really interesting, actually. What can these Cloak Banshees get done? Of course, in TVT, you generally expect, actually in any matchup against Terran, you generally expect the Cloak Banshees to come out early. You expect your opponent to kind of rush for them. But Lucifron here are going for a bit of a delayed Cloak, which I think is fine. I think it's actually really interesting. Because it's something that his opponent might not necessarily prepare for. And his opponent has to scout, or a lot of damage can be done. Like, how often do you see a 10-minute, 11-minute Banshee? Usually they're at 7 minutes, and if they're not at 7 minutes, you can be like, okay, my opponent's not going for Cloak Banshee. But that's what Lucifron is wanting Sting to think right now. So maybe it can get some damage done. The engineer. Okay, there's a turret in the main, though. Look at that. Who knows? Oh, he saw it. He saw it somehow. So he saw the cloaking research. Lucifron can still make it work. Now, oh, look at that. Lucifron adding on 3 factories.
Under attack.
Now, I'm wondering how popular this play is going to start getting. As far as heavy factory play, mech play, some like to call it. Because Blizzard is thinking about making some changes that would kind of improve mech quite a bit. They're thinking about adding, increasing the attack rate of siege tanks. They are thinking about combining the upgrades in the armory so that both the air and ground can be upgraded with the same upgrade at the same time. Uh-oh. Cloak Banshee trying to be annoying. There's a scan from Sting trying to take down that Banshee, but the Banshee will sneak away. Then 18 HP. Lucifron being annoying, though. Forcing a scan out of your opponent is always a good thing. As long as you don't lose the Cloak Banshee, of course. Trying to get some more damage done here. Maybe force another scan. Okay, it should die. Oh, there's no scan. He was trying to fake that he had one. Okay, he does have a scan. Okay, he took it out. How did he see that? Oh, okay, he lost the cloak. Able to take it out. Lucifron poking at the natural expansion again, just trying to be annoying, keep his opponent at home as he transitions into the scary mech. Maybe that's the whole idea behind the Cloak Banshees, right? You get those out, force your opponent to react, be a little bit scary, and then behind it, place down a bunch of factories. And then, based on the damage you do with the Cloak Banshees, it gives you time to start pumping out all these units. and make the scariness start happening. Got 2 tanks in the mix here. A lot of Hellions below, and Sting is just now going to know what's going on. He's already got some tanks here, trying to hold the fort. Blue Flame about to finish here for Lucifron. Now, what is he going to be content doing? Because at this point, he could put down a 3rd command center. And as I say that, he places down a 3rd command center. Axel Toss, why are you a wizard? I don't know why I'm a wizard. I received my letter from Hogwarts when I was 11. Don't tell anyone. So, this tells me that he's not necessarily going to worry about pushing into the natural. Maybe just try to secure a 3rd base and keep his opponent at home. Oh, this is a crafty position. Oh my god, if he could stim. Oh god, stim finishes. That was so close. He could have gotten that if he had gotten there a split second earlier. Point defense drone going down. Sting does not want this happening. Lots of tanks sieging up on the low ground here from Lucifron, getting a lot of damage done. But it looks like Sting should be able to shove this away. Nice positioning on these tanks. Nice reaction time as well. And Lucifron going to back away. So Sting shoved that apart. But again, Lucifron has this 3rd base. And that 3rd base doesn't necessarily exist here for Sting. He's got a command center's main base, a command center's natural expansion, just now adding on the 3rd. So that's significantly delayed versus Lucifron's 3rd base. But honestly, the supply is pretty much identical. 100 to 100. Income is 54 to 44 in favor of Sting. Which, again, it's a minor deal. It's all going to be about positioning. Lucifron going for the mech play, so the tank positioning is going to be very important. Look out for Sting to go for a lot of medevac drops. Drop it in the main, dropping in the natural expansion. Really spreading out his opponent, because what mech isn't, as far as what tanks aren't, they're not mobile. So as a bio player, you are super mobile with those medevacs, with those Marines and Marauders, and you can get a lot of damage done, spread your opponent apart. Lucifron needs to be prepared for a drop like this. Does he have a tank in his main base sieged up? No, he doesn't. Does he have any turrets? No, he doesn't. Does he know about this medevac drop? I don't think he does. A lot of Marines and Marauders dropping in the main base of Lucifron. It's a great attack here from Sting for Blue Flame Hellions. Actually, a lot of Blue Flame Hellions coming up. This might be enough, but Marauders are pretty darn strong. And again, they have those medevacs above. Some tanks coming forward to help deal with this. And it looks like he will clean this up. Sting actually just going to pick up and move on somewhere else. Great little drop there from Sting. However, Lucifron is able to get that 3rd base on the ground. Going to start really boosting his economy. 3rd base just now finishing up here for Sting. Orbital command going to be made, and he's probably going to lift that up over to this location or this location. We'll keep an eye on that. But the point is Lucifron able to get that 3rd base down a little bit earlier. From here, though, what's going to happen? Armory upgrades I would love to see. Where's the armory? He needs to make an armory. We're going mech. Armory is kind of important to have, I think. Unless I'm completely missing it. Are you blind? I might be blind. Turrets being made there in the main base. I think he was making an armor here, but an armor here, but it was taken out by that drop. So we'll have more on that developing story a little bit later. That is a Sting scan, trying to find out what his opponent is up to. Lucifron playing very patiently. We got 4 siege tanks at the natural expansion, 3 tanks maneuvering on over to the 3rd base, wanting to keep those guys spread out. Does not want to be taken off guard by any counterattacks here from Sting, especially considering how fast he got his 3rd command center. But Sting able to get his 3rd down as well, so again, we're pretty darn even in this game. 129 to 125 in the Acer TeamStory Cup. Remember, Lucifron putting Mouz up 3-0. These are all best-of-1 games. It's Pokemon style, where if you win, you stay. Challenging team, if they lose, they send out a new player to try to take down the champion. Right now, Mouz is up 3-0 on the back of Lucifron. Lucifron taking down San in the first game, Starnan in the second game, and Daisy in the 3rd game, showing he has become a master of Protoss versus Terran. But Sting is a Terran, so it's Terran versus Terran in this particular altercation. Some Marines being sacrificed, dropped on top of these tanks, and that's a little bit annoying. But there's no Viking. Okay, so you got to have the Vikings here to kind of prevent that. But 2 tanks taken out there from Sting. Great little play. And that's going to put him up 159 to 135. That's actually going to get him to do a push here towards that 3rd base. Marines and Marauders coming forward. This is a tricky ramp to go down, though. Good tank positioning here from Lucifron. However, Sting able to get some shots onto the tank from his opponent. But Lucifron has that air control. Raven coming forward, throwing down a point defense drone. Vikings looking for medevacs to kill, looking for Banshees to kill. Trying to keep that air control. Meanwhile, we have a drop in the main base. Marines and Marauders dropping down here from Sting. Sprinting on over to that tank, targeting him down. Going to try to take down some turrets as well, but that's going to be cleaned up. At the same time, Sting taking advantage, dropping in his opponent's 3rd base, taking out a lot of SCV. Supply depot going to be taken down. And his orbital command is a little bit vulnerable. Might have to lift that up. That's exactly what he's going to do. And Lucifron being a little bit exposed. Sting is everywhere. He's got another bio army. Again, this is the advantage of bio versus mech. If you can really spread your opponent out, take advantage of your medevacs, drop Marines and Marauders in a bunch of different locations, forcing Lucifron to worry about all this. The siege tank positioning has to be perfect. Sting dropping again in the main base. Lucifron pulling some units back to try to deal with this. But I think Sting is going to be very happy with all of these engagements. Taking down lots of units here and there, even going into the natural, taking down 2 more tanks, and all these trades are so good here for Sting. Anytime you're trading Marines and Marauders for tanks, as long as it's not a huge amount, you're going to be great. Lucifron going to throw down the GG. Sting finally making something happen for Team Western Wolves. Again, Lucifron started out 3-0, so Sting definitely needed that win. Western Wolves definitely needed that win. And Lucifron being exposed a little bit. Very nice play from Sting, taking down Lucifron there in game number 4 of this Acer TeamStory Cup regular season match. Very crafty play indeed. Really cool. Again, we saw bio versus mech, exactly how to play it, kind of utilized there, kind of presented there by Sting. Getting those medevacs out, utilizing Ignite Afterburners, and just spreading your opponent apart, because tanks, the reason they're good is you can't directly engage the tanks. However, if you can kind of take advantage of their lack of mobility, and if your opponent playing mech doesn't have their positioning locked down 100%, you can find those holes, and you can drop in the main, drop in the third, really spread your Terran opponent out apart. And then, of course, taking down tech labs is important, taking down reactors, taking down production facilities, and just being everywhere at the bio. And that's exactly what Sting did and what he's capable of. So Sting bringing this a little bit closer. We're now at a 3-1 advantage for Mouz. Again, it's first to 5 wins, and now it's time for Mouz to send out a challenger against Sting. Guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Acer TeamStory Cup action. Don't go anywhere.